again. Welcome to the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News, where everybody is a star and the biggest star is you. Want to first of all express my deep and profound appreciations to the In Touch News family, DJ CEO and Mrs. DJ CEO Tampa Bay Tammy, for making this platform available for the Life Malcolm Show and other shows that broadcast here. I am perpetually grateful for my super duper producer behind the boards making the magic happen so that everything comes off without a hitch. So just want to express those appreciations and say to you that I really appreciate you tuning in for the the little time we have together each week on Tuesdays, man. I used to do this show called Black on Black Ryan Tampa, and it was like my favorite. It was on Tuesdays. The show was on Tuesdays every Tuesday night. That's why when we first started the Life Malcolm Show, I would say we taking Tuesdays back, and that's because for 13 years or so, I ran Tuesday nights in Tampa. And we had Black on Black Rhyme first. Then after Black on Black Rhyme, we did a thing called The Stage, Exclusively Yours. And then after that, we did Straight Up Poetry, which is where we kind of concluded the saga. But yeah, for 13, 14 years straight, something like that, every Tuesday. Didn't miss one, not one Tuesday. Every Tuesday for 14 years or so, we had a show, and people loved the the events that we produced, and I saw people get married from that event. Meet their partners there. People brought their partners there and proposed. Saw people get divorced, and in that thing, saw people grow to love each other, grow to hate each other, saw communities heal and build through that process. So I say all that to say that now that we are doing the Life Malcolm Show, now that we do the Life Malcolm Show every Tuesday, which that's one reason why I chose Tuesdays too, because of the legacy we established on Tuesday nights. Nobody wanted a Tuesday night because when we first started looking for the perfect venue and the perfect day of the week, we thought we considered Fridays, then that's club night. We considered Saturdays club night. We considered Sundays church during the day, people family dinner in the afternoon, evening, or whatever. So maybe not want to come out. Monday, first day of work. Wednesday was like wind down Wednesdays with my man Adrian Wright. Sometimes y'all hear him talking about his barbecue or something on the program when Mr. Clean used to be here doing the thing on Wednesday nights at Hollywood Nights before it was a booty club. And so I don't know why we didn't pick Thursday, but we chose Tuesday, and it worked. Changed a whole lot of stuff. And so now here we go, man. We back at it on Tuesday nights right here at the Life Malcolm Show just for you. And so, yeah. Oh, the point that I'm making is that Tuesdays are fast becoming my favorite day of the week again, because I quite enjoy hanging out here with you, especially when you call in like you can do at 813-444-9588. It makes my heart so happy to hear from you when you call in. So 813-444-9588, call in. Of course, you can make comments right here on the Facebook joint. Go to intouchnews.com. And you can go to intouchnews.com, of course. But what I want to say is go to Facebook and go to the In Touch News page and join us here on the little watch party we currently have going. And you can make comments, and I can see what you're saying and can respond, perhaps. I know I say that all the time and never do, but I'm getting better. I promise. I'm working on it. I'm at least checking the comments after the show. I'm getting better at that. So, okay. As you know, we have a pretty important show lined up for you. My man, Pete McIntyre. I guess it's not a spoiler because I put it in the video, and I believe I put it in like a picture form as a promo. So my man Pete McIntyre is going to be here. We're going to do a whole full introduction when we get ready to bring Pete on. But those of you who know Pete know that he's a legend in the Tampa area, and he has a story to tell. And right here on the Life Malcolm Show, we're going to listen, going to see what we can pull out of him for you and others to take with you. So, all right. But before we get to that, what I want to do is talk a little bit about the news. So, in the news, a couple of things. Let's start with sad first. My man Keyshawn Johnson. I used to see Keyshawn when he played here for the Bucks, man. He hang out a little bit, and I guess I bump into him now and then at the clubs. Never, friendly or chummy with them, but he was always cool, always cordial. Didn't have to be, superstar at that time, but he was, always just a really cool dude. So I liked the guy. I wish he would have had a longer career here in Tampa. He was a good look on the slow wide receiver side of the game, right? But just saw something about his daughter dying, 25-year-old daughter. I believe her name is Maya, something like that. And so definitely sad to hear that for that brother. I know what it's like to have to bury a child. It's a tremendous kind of thing. If I'm not mistaken, it was his first child too. It's something heart-wrenching about burying your firstborn child. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter how many children, or which number the child falls in line. It's awful to bury a child. There's something about that firstborn child. You have to bury that. There's something about that. So, definitely thoughts, good energy, stuff like that, out to Keyshawn Johnson. So that's sad news. On another moment of sad news this weekend, the marvelous Marvin Hagler, 66 years old, suddenly died, I believe, at home. Maybe he was in hospital, I don't know, but it was all of a sudden. And, man, that wasn't expecting that. I thought Marvin was older than 66 years old. That goes to show you not as young as I thought I was. But, yeah, man, Marvelous Marvin Hagler was one of the best middleweights in history, in boxing history. He has something like 60-something fights. I can't remember the exact number, but he won like 52 of them, and a lot of them were by knockouts. And, I mean, he put on a tremendous show every time he got in the ring. The fight with Tommy Hearns, definitely one of the greatest fights in boxing history. The controversial loss marvelous Marvin Hagler suffered to Sugar Ray Leonard was definitely a memorable event. One of boxing's biggest moments. And I don't know if you recall, like I like boxing, at least I used to back in those days. It was after Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, and Foreman, and maybe one other guy back then. But after these guys, I would say I'd throw Larry Holmes in there too. So like after Larry, I can't forget Spinks. So like after they kind of faded away from the heavyweight limelight, boxing got really dull. It's because the heavyweight division was the big thing. You know, it wasn't like now where you have all of these smaller divisions and some superstars in them. So uh, when the heavyweights faded away, all you had were the middleweights, and I say all you had were the middleweights again because the heavyweight joint was like a big deal. And so this is around the time when Rocky came out, with the white boy who was played by Sylvester Stallone, boxer, getting beat up and stuff like that. But then at the end, he always come back, and win something like that. Most of the fights, but the whole reason why Rocky was able to be such a phenomenon amongst boxing fans was because the heavyweight division was so empty. But it was right around that time when Hagler, Hearns, and Ray Leonard, Sugar Ray Leonard, came through with their middleweight matches and kept boxing alive for boxing fans. Heavyweight wasn't doing it until Mike Tyson hit the scene and resuscitated what was a moribund sport at the time. And so Hagler certainly has significance in the history books as not just a tremendous boxer, but as a athlete who saved his sport, kept his sport alive. So yeah, big shouts out to my man, Marvelous Marvin Hagler. I guess we get to I guess it's not sad, but it's not glad either. Got to talk about your boy, Kirk Franklin, who sounded like he was about to put the stomp on his son. I heard the call, and look, you have to speak to people in the language they can understand. And as far as I'm concerned, every word in the English lexicon is good. It has utility. Every there's only one bad word in the English lexicon, and that word is can't. Can't died a long time ago in a Coca-Cola bottle. But anyway, Kirk Franklin let his boy, he apparently Kirk was upset with his son, and he had to help the boy understand exactly how upset he was. And then people got upset with Kirk for using some of the words that he used. And I think it's silly that people don't take advantage of all the words that we have at our disposal, especially during emotional times when we could best express ourselves with very short words and phrases. Um, but nevertheless, when Kirk chose to do this, it's my understanding that so-called Christian folk and others who sit on their high perches of judgment had a whole lot of stuff to say about Kirk's communication with his wayward son. I would say this because if you're a parent, you've had this kind of thing happen before, especially if you have children that are almost grown or think they're as grown. You've had this situation where you become so upset with your children that you had to check them in a harsh way, a little more sternly than you ordinarily would. And some people might not like that. And in Kirk's situation, a lot of people frowned on that. I would say two things to Kirk Franklin and people who are in his shoes: that there can be no great disappointment where there is no great love. So what Kirk Franklin's son did was expose to us how much Kirk loves him, and the people who had some kind of backlash or something, experienced some troublesomeness because of Kirk's response to his son, hopefully helped Kirk know that the people love him. Because again, there can be no great disappointment where there is no great love. All right, look, we're gonna take a break, and after that, man, we're gonna bring a guest in the studio. We're gonna jump it off, man. Have a conversation with my man Pete McIntyre. You're right here at the Life Malcolm Show on In Touch News. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Goobo, what have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
Yo. All right, welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News, where everybody is a star and the biggest star is you. As you can probably see, we got a guest in the building. He's a legend in the city. I'm going to tell you, I don't even know if he noticed, man, but I used to watch. So I told you for like 14 years, I did the poetry thing. What I did not say, I did it every Tuesday night. What I probably didn't say is that I did it in the club. So I'm in the club every Tuesday doing the poetry event, and every night I'm not in the club hosting or producing the poetry event. I'm in the club, in some club, promoting the event. Usually in the club where where we had the event. But of course, I had to get around to bring more people to the club. So I'm in the club every night. As a matter of fact, even before the poetry thing started, I was in the club since I was 16. Up until I was like 38 years old, I could not think of a time. I mean, it's probably maybe from the time I was 16 to the time I was 38 years old. It was probably maybe 50 days or nights out of the week, out of that entire time that I was not in a club. And so the funny thing is, when I moved back to Tampa from Atlanta, got in the club game. So when I left Tampa, I was 19, came back, and at like 22 years old. I was 22 years old when I got back. Actually, so I was 22 when I got back, but 23 when I started getting back out into the club scene. And so, I thought I was a, pretty, strapping young man. And I would, go up in the club, man, and I see this dude right here, right? And, man, he always had the mean mug. Now Pete, you done slimmed down a little bit, but Pete used to be big, right? And, he had this, this before either one of us was gray, had any gray, right? So he jet black hair. And just mean mugging all the time, right? At least to me. And I'm like, man, what's up with this old dude right here, man? How come, he always got the unit, right? And then one time I saw him smile and realized that's just how he looked. He smiled with the mean face. And so, but every time I saw him in the club, he always stood up like a man. When young men got out of pocket with the ladies, you can see Pete step in right there, say, we don't do it like that over here. He always carried himself in a way where people respect him, follow him. I've never seen him be a follower, but I've seen people follow his pattern. Matter of fact, I don't even know if he was paying attention to me when I was paying attention to him, because he was on his man thing, that was good for a youngster like myself to see, so I know how to manage these scallywags up in the club. And so, after a while, Pete started to recognize me. I don't know what changed. I don't know if it's because I started getting wrinkles too, or whatever. But one day he said my name, and I was like, oh hell, I done made it. Now I'm in there I'm in the men's club, and so ever since then, every time I see Pete, man, it's been nothing but handshakes and hugs, nothing but love and encouraging words. As a matter of fact, I just saw him 2 weeks ago, maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, down in Ybor City. I think it was Ybor, and he was like, yo, the Cotton Club opening back up, because we used to do the poetry event at the Cotton Club. And, he said, man, I thought about you. You should think about doing your thing at the club again. And while that'll probably never happen because I've retired from that, when DJ CEO hit me on the phone, was like, yo, you should think about having Pete McIntyre on the show. I was like, who is that? And so he told me a story about Pete McIntyre. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's what's up. I give him a holler because it's an interesting story. Then I called the number. I'm like, yeah, can I speak to Pete McIntyre, please? And he was like, I was like, this is Life. He was like, Life, what's up? I'm like, okay. And we talking a little bit. I'm getting him a little interview on. I say, like, brother, you familiar with me? He said, man, I just saw you 3 weeks ago. And so when he said that, I was like, oh, Pete, why Daryl just didn't say Big Pete? And so, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends and enemies, and those here on assignment, I'm going to welcome to the show right now Pete McIntyre, who I affectionately call Big Pete. Big Pete, what's happening, man? Welcome to the Life Malcolm Show.
What's going on?
How you doing, brother?
Here, brother?
Good.
In your presence.
Good, man. So we're going to just go through the regular preliminary, introductory stuff. So, I'm going to interview you like I don't know, and the people don't know who you are. So where you from, Pete?
Tampa, Florida, born and raised.
What side of town?
I don't claim a side because that's the problem going on now.
Okay. Well, what side of town were you born on?
I was born in Tampa General Hospital.
Tampa General Hospital. Okay, all right, right over. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that was what year was that?
1966.
1966. Okay. So see, you got about 19 years on me. I was born in 75.
I'm 55 years old.
Okay, I'm 46. All right. So see, that's what I'm saying. So I'm in the club 23 years old. Pete in the club 43 years old, 42, 43 years old. So yeah. So but I was always checking you, man, how you carry yourself. So they say, I hear people say that you are a legend in Tampa. Tell me about that, man. How was it growing up in Tampa in the 60s for you?
Well, the 60s, I was in the 60s only 4 years.
Well, you're right. I'm in the 70s. Yeah, my bad.
70s, it was interesting because I got a pretty decent mind on my shoulder, thank God. But I used to sit back and watch the grown folks, okay? And not only watch, I listen to all the stories. And it's 3 sides to every story.
Uh-huh.
That person's side, and the truth.
Right.
Now, it's your job to decipher what's real, what's not.
Right.
So, growing up, I learned, listen, learn, watch, and I put some in me. What I wanted to keep, I kept it. What I didn't want to keep was no good, I put it to the side.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I learned at a very, very young age we only got one life to live.
Yeah.
Because I lost family members when I was very, very young. So, I know that's tragic, but it's part of life.
Right.
Me and you lost a son.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it don't get no worse than that.
No.
Than a child on the ground.
Right.
But I learned also at a young age that I had to learn to protect myself because when you're out in the streets, where I was in the streets and I was in school. I went to college, but I also had street smarts. I played around the streets. But I learned that you have sheep, you have wolves. My natural is being a sheep. I love to give. But I know a wolf see a sheep and want to attack. So I had to put my sheep to the side and let the wolf be shown. So when you were saying I always look mean mugging,
yeah,
I really wasn't mean mugging. I was just letting somebody know that don't know me, I'm not the one.
Yeah.
So stay away.
Yeah.
Because it's not what you want.
Yeah.
Just like that.
Yeah, I always got that feeling that it wasn't what I wanted. You made that clear. So let's unpack that what you said a little bit about school. So what school did you go to?
Which
High school. Yeah.
I went to King, right? The road.
Went to King. All
High
right.
school.
Okay. That's what was your sport? Because King used to be
I
pretty
played
good.
football, basketball, and ran track.
Okay. All right. So a triple threat.
Yeah.
What position in football?
Wide receiver.
Nah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I had you figured for something like a linebacker.
That's what everybody think, but I played wide out.
Okay. All right. So you had speed.
I love it.
Okay. All right.
Speed, strength, whatever. I had it.
What position on the basketball court?
Shooting guard, point guard, small forward, sometimes power forward. At 5'11".
5'11"?
Mm-hmm.
Back then. Okay.
I'm still 5'11".
Nah.
I haven't grown any.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So now you said you had to learn to protect yourself
Mm-hmm.
in the streets. Well, hold on. Before we get to this, let's stick with schools. You say you went to college. Tell us about that. So what college did you go on?
I
Scholarship?
went to Baylor University, and I went to Florida A&M, Sanford, Florida A&M.
Did you go on scholarship? You just
Scholarship.
football?
Double scholarship, both.
Okay. Football,
But,
basketball?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I also went to prison while I was in college.
Okay. Is that
Never had a juvenile record.
Uh-huh.
I was in the fight at Grace's, which is a cotton club, but at
Yeah,
Grace's
yeah,
with
yeah.
4 guys.
Yeah.
Hit all of them one time.
yeah?
Judge go send me to prison.
Harry Lee Coe.
Harry Lee Coe, Hanging Harry, who killed himself about doing people
under
wrong.
a bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, blew his brains out.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. We
Karma
celebrate
is
that the day that he could no longer be a threat to African people. Because I remember, I mean, not we don't celebrate his him blowing his brains out, but when he left the bench, and I'm not saying that, I'm not telling people what to celebrate. I'm just saying that I'm not saying we celebrate that. But when he left the bench, that was like the Emancipation Proclamation, Juneteenth, and all that rolled in one. Because he used to send people to prison. So how old were you when he sent you?
I was 24.
24.
Yeah. He sent his own son to prison.
Yeah.
So think about that. He sent his own child to prison.
Yeah.
And his son ended up killing himself
His son killed his
in
son?
prison. He hung himself.
So
it wasn't just blacks.
Yeah.
He said if my mother came in front of me, she was found guilty, I'd send her to prison too.
Yeah.
I seen those words come out of his mouth. I was right there present.
Yeah. So what year were you in college when he sent you to prison?
89.
I mean, what was freshman, sophomore?
Sophomore. Into my junior year.
So how long did you have to do there?
9 months.
Okay.
3.5 year sentence.
Were you able to go back to college?
I didn't want to go back. I was mad with society.
Okay. All right. And so what did you do?
Got in the streets.
All right. I wanted to unpack that right there. That's the part I wanted to get to. We got in the streets because we have a show on In Touch News. It's called Stay in the Word.
Mm-hmm.
But it sounds like you, like myself, at one point in time used to stay in the streets. And so when we get back, we got a listening audience who expecting to hear some stuff from us tonight about your experiences with the streets and how you survived this long, and maybe even some advice and solutions about to help other people make it as well. So we're gonna take this break right now, and when we get back, we're just gonna jump right into the streets with Pete on the Life Malcolm Show. Y'all stay tuned.
All right.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all got to see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan. We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
How to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Yo, 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 welcome back to the Life Malcolm Show. I'm sitting here with my man, Big Pete, the legend, they say. And it's really, for me, a privilege to be able to sit here and chop it up with Pete, man. Like I said, we've been seeing each other for years, and this is the first time I've ever had an opportunity to just really sit down and chop it up with you, because usually we out in the street, in the club, music playing, we doing whatever we doing, but this is the first time we ever really had an opportunity to just sit down and chop it up. So I'm learning some things too. I didn't know the guy had speed. He looked like he had hands, I didn't know he had speed. But so speaking
4198 speed.
How fast?
4198.
41.
4198. 42 flat 4198.
Man.
Twice.
For y'all who don't know how fast that is, Deion Sanders run like a 4-1. Yeah, Neon Deion, prime time.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. Yeah, Bo Jackson fast. So this brother right here was moving, but you ran to the streets. So like, unpack that, man. Tell us what you mean. So like me, when I was 19, I went to Morehouse College. I got kicked out of the Navy. The Naval Academy Prep School, and so I was kind of like the hell with society too, and I'm just gonna do the all black thing. So I went to Morehouse College. This is in '94, and I thought I was gonna be a big time rapper, and we was on the way too. Anyway, long story short, I dropped out of college, and then the rap career, the floor fell out of my rap ambitions, at least at that time, and so I hit the streets and had to, got my hustle on, you know what I mean? And so I went from a school kid to, a street kid. And, so I know a little bit about what that's like. But of course this happened something like 20 years after you made that kind of move. So the streets, I'm sure the rules were the same, but some of the things a little different. So bam, in college, on scholarship, double scholarship, come home, get in a fight at the club, got to go to prison, do 9 months, come out mad with society. What's your first move?
I sat back and asked myself what I'm going to do. So my mother had a restaurant and a beauty salon. I would help them out on occasion, but I still had the athletic ability in me, so I wanted to play basketball. I wouldn't play sandlot football, whatever they want to play. Gambling?
Yeah.
Competition? I'm there.
Okay.
So somebody called me one day and said, come ride with me. 2 family members. I'm never going to mention their name. Right up the street. Come watch our back. Stand right there and just watch our back. What y'all doing? Don't worry about that. Just watch our back.
Yeah.
So I'm watching them pile it up.
Yeah.
When they were done, we leave. They were going to hand me some money. Say, what's this for? Don't worry about it. Put it in your pocket.
Yeah.
And it went on from there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started doing my own thing, and everybody kept saying, man, go back to school, Pete.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going. Money piling up, children coming.
Yeah.
I got 24 kids.
How many?
24.
24. Man, you throwing out numbers, got me repeat. I usually don't have to repeat. Yeah. But you say 4.198. I had to say what? And now you say 24.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
And that came with the territory, You know how the game go.
Oh, yeah.
If you halfway got a name, you halfway decent, you got a little money in your pocket, you driving nice cars, you dress nice, smelling good.
Yeah.
You got a decent head on your shoulders.
Yeah.
They're easy.
Yeah.
That's just facts.
Yeah, 100.
So, and you know what you're doing, they run your mouth. Curiosity kill the cat.
Yeah. Get the cat, too.
That part. So, that's how that came about.
Yeah.
Now, all the while when I was a child, I learned how to protect myself. My mother had me and my 2 brothers in Taekwondo and boxing.
Okay.
So I took that and added my own nuances to it. And you only can get that way if you going against somebody. Like hitting the bag don't hit back.
Right.
Bag not thinking.
Right.
Bag gonna do whatever you make it do. So
right.
I had to have physical contact with another human being to hone my skills. So I made sure I did that.
How you do that? You went starting fights?
I never started a fight.
Okay, what you mean?
I always break up fights.
Okay.
I would get into a fight trying to stop brothers from hurting each other.
Okay.
Because it'd be somebody on one of the factions that'll say, P nigga, you ain't, hey, oh, come on, brother, ain't none of that.
Yeah.
But whatever.
Yeah.
This ain't what you want. I just want y'all to not hurt each other.
Yeah.
Why you do that?
Yeah.
Now it's over.
Yeah.
See him?
Yeah.
That's still pretty bad.
Yeah. So, all right, so you started hustling, making money, taking care of the children. Well, what was the high point of the street life?
Really, it wasn't a high point with me because I knew early on that I was committing genocide.
What I mean is, like, what was as high as you got in the street? I'm saying, like, what was the I get what you question you asking. The money, whatever. Yeah,
the
was it
amount
the money,
of drugs.
the fame, the girls?
I didn't care about that.
Okay,
because I'm telling you, at the very beginning, I seen that I was committing genocide.
Okay,
I didn't want to be that guy.
Okay,
to destroy my culture, my neighborhood, my people. I didn't want to be that guy.
Okay,
so I got in and I got right out.
Okay.
And I was trying to tell other people to do the same thing. Hey, man, you see what you're doing?
Yeah.
You got this. You serving this pregnant girl. You serving these kids. Something not right with that.
Yeah.
Because no matter what I did in my life, I always kept my morals and my scruples.
Okay.
I stood strong on that.
100.
Yeah. So, also, I was a guy that if I don't care what neighborhood I went in, if I seen you supposed to be in school, they'll say, "Oh Lord, here come Pete." Ain't no point in running because I'm gonna catch you.
Yeah.
So they find out early. Ain't no point in running. You can't run away from him. Not only was I fast, I was long-winded also.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you ran 2 miles, I can run 5.
Yeah.
Backwards and still, come on.
Yeah.
You tired of running now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay.
Tear that behind up. Go take your mama house. Then you go to school.
Yeah.
Fifi could tell you that. David Gay.
Yeah.
He could tell you.
Yeah.
I did that.
Okay.
I'm not just talking.
Yeah. You know, Fee Daddy stay right down the street from me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Katie Williams.
Yeah.
Same with him. I called him at 15, doing what you're supposed to be doing. I said, man, you don't live after this. You cannot live your life. If you say you want to go to the NFL, you can't do it doing this. Stop that. I catch you doing it again, I'm gonna hurt you. He was 15 years old.
So now you in the streets at this time?
I'm in the streets.
Okay, all right. But you checking them though.
Yeah,
Keeping them out the
because
streets.
I stood on my morals and scruples.
Right on.
Just a child.
Right.
Making grown man decisions.
Right.
You can do better if you have enough of us saying don't do this.
100.
And you can't say you see me doing that because you never seen me doing nothing wrong.
Okay.
You can only speculate.
Right.
And speculation is no good for nobody.
Right.
If you can't see it with your own eyes, don't go on what you hear.
Yeah.
Go on what you see.
Yeah.
So I never showed them what I was doing, but I made them stop doing what they was doing so they can do the right thing with their life.
Yeah, right on. And so, like, you heard the introduction. You were sitting right here. That's what I was telling people from the beginning. Every time I saw Pete, I saw him stand up like that. I remember seeing you get in the middle of stuff, some action in the club when people act like they ain't had no sense. Sometimes, most of the time, I don't think I can't recall really seeing you get in between, like, dudes about the fight. Because, back around that time, especially at the Cotton Club, we dudes weren't really fighting like that.
Right.
Each other. We all dressed up. Most people in there old, whatever. Especially that. I look at they were about 46, like I am. Now I'm talking about old, but at that time they were old to me, right? But I would see sometimes dudes get out of pocket with ladies. And, you see the ladies have a reaction or a response, and then the dude want to, swell up or whatever like that. And I would see you, say, hold on, and, check that kind of stuff.
That's
I
true.
remember seeing you. Yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember seeing you rock the gold and, but always handle your business, like you say, you people didn't know what you were doing. All they could do was speculate. You weren't really that type of dude to put it on blast. And so, I mean, everything you saying right now, I can attest to. As far as how you interacted with young men, I didn't see those occurrences, but I can tell. But I can tell from my experience with you that those those are true stories. I think we got to call. Okay, I bet. Caller, come in. You on the Life Malcolm show right here with my man Big Pete. What you got to say, caller? Come in.
Good evening. This is Candy Lowe, and I just jumped on about 10 minutes ago. Great to hear the show, and good to see Brother Pete on and sharing his story. And I just want to say hello to him and you as well, Life. And I'm going to jump off and continue to listen to the show, but I'm just enjoying listening to Brother Pete because I know there was a number of other guys in our community that was the same as Pete. Out there saying this is not the right way to go, and let's try this and let's try that. So, hats off to you, Brother Pete, and keep doing well, brother.
I appreciate it, sweetheart.
Candy Lowe, it's always such a delight to hear from you. It makes my heart so happy. So, all right, so that was the high point. There was no high point. Was there ever a low point?
Yeah, it was a low point.
Okay, what was the lowest point?
The lowest point, found out my mom was real sick. That was a low point.
Okay.
Because my mom was not only my best friend, a lot of people loved and respected my mom from the restaurant, the beauty salon we had. And when she passed away, it was standing room only at her funeral. So that showed the love that she had, And everybody called her Mom Cal. And see, when you see my mom, you see, like I was scowling, mean, saying my mom. Women would see her and be like, oh, your mama saw me. I say, sweetest thing in the world.
Yeah.
Stop judging the book by the cover.
Yeah.
It's only a facade.
Yeah.
See, it's like we've been knowing it with each other for a long time. And you said, which is true, we never had dialogue. I used to sit back and watch you do your poem thing. And the reason why I never said anything to you because what you was doing, you was handling it properly. There was no point to talk to you.
Right on. Appreciate that.
Sit back and just watch.
Appreciate that.
You did a well job. That's why when I seen you 3 weeks ago, I said, hey, man, they're back open. But
Yeah.
I didn't know that you passed that.
Yeah.
Daryl told me you passed that. You're going back in the club, so I respect that too. But another low point, not really low, just shit happens.
Yeah.
I apologize, but
you ain't got to apologize to me. I apologize on his behalf, on the behalf of the In Touch News family. I failed to give the lexicon limitations before Big Pete got up in here.
Yeah,
We're talking like we on the block.
Bro.
I'm jealous because I wanted to say something like that. I've been wanting to talk like that.
I would not
3 months.
do that again.
Yeah, we all good, though, brother. Go
Respect.
ahead. Yeah, want it.
I got shot in 92. That was kind of sort of a low point, but not really, because the person that did it was pretty much I called a family member. So I had ill feelings for a short period of time, and then a shorter period of time it was forgotten, forgiven, and done, as far as I was concerned.
Man, we got to talk about that.
All
right. Look, so we're gonna take a break. You got to tell that. We got to talk about that story right there because that's big. You said you only had ill feelings for a short time.
A very short period of time.
Yeah. Then it forgot, forgiven.
Forgot, forgiven.
That's what's up. All right.
Still
all
my
right,
brother.
y'all. Hey, look here. Stay tuned, man. Life Malcolm Show. You can call in too, 813-444-9588, and we will be right back.
Thinking politics? Tampa Bay Politics is on every Wednesday at 11 a.m. with Angela Birdsong. Tune in right here on In Touch Radio.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers in the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
All right, y'all, we back, and I know a lot of y'all look for the word from the a word from the word, but we probably not gonna get into that right away.
You can do that anytime.
But I know, but right now we got living, breathing word right here that the people need. You know, some contemporary gospel. So we gonna jump right back into it. So, brother, you say you got shot, and now just shortly after, and even to this day, it's forgotten and forgiven.
It's my brother.
Break that down a little bit. Can you talk about what some of the circumstances that led to getting shot, or what happened when you got shot, what you thought when you were shot, and talk about the ill feelings and how you came out of it. Just
I won't go into too much detail because I wanna talk about that in his presence.
Right. That's right. Let me tell the audience. Listen, I know I promised. I sent out a video earlier today, promising that we would have Pete and the brother who shot Pete in the studio together. The brother could not make it today, but we can do a part 2, right? And we gonna have the story where we gonna just lay it all out with him right here. So we gonna do that. That's 100. You already see this man right here is 100, so you know it's gonna happen. But so we're not gonna jump all the way into all the details because we want to save some of that for my man to jump in on it and like you say, it's 3 different sides, so we want to get all sides of the story so people get a good picture. But go ahead, man, and tell us what you want to tell us.
Here's the gist of it. It was a bad accident, real bad accident that could almost been fatal, and it did not bring dissension between our families. Our families never lost closeness. Matter of fact, my little brother has a child from his aunt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's close.
My mother and his mother were best friends before I was even born. His stepfather and my 2 uncles were best friends. So our families have always been intertwined.
Okay.
So when this happened, the family was like, how could this between them two?
Yeah.
Like I said, when he's here, then I'm really going into detail.
Right.
You know.
So now you shot.
I'm shot in the hospital.
Okay. Tampa General?
Tampa General.
All right, because that's the best place to go for trauma around here. So, shot in the face.
I beg to differ, but go ahead.
In the face, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what you thinking? I mean, did you see it coming? Did you?
Well, I when another guy handed him the gun.
Okay.
He said, give me that thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Take your time.
And again, I don't want to get too.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No. I'm just trying.
I'm just say this.
Surprise, or did you see it come?
Very much surprised because when he said, "Give me that thing," I turned around. He had a gun. I said, "Damn, said you gonna shoot me?" Pow, just like that.
Okay.
But I seen his finger, so I turned my head. If I don't turn my head, I get shot right here.
Okay.
I'm not here today.
And so now you shot. You're in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to recover?
I only stayed in the hospital a matter of hours because it was a head wound. It wouldn't be kept me overnight, but I was fine. My vitals. I lost my hearing for about 30 days. My hearing came back in my left ear. The nurse asked me all kind of questions, trying to throw me off, and I answered every question to the letter. So when the ATF agent came and asked her, could he interview me, standing right behind me, and I heard her say, I cannot believe that he's coherent and answering questions the way he is, blah, 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 blah. But see, what they didn't understand is there is a God that I've always believed and always been in my corner. See, I went everywhere by myself.
Yeah.
But I was never by myself, and I knew that.
Yeah.
If I got in a fight with 7 guys, they thought they would just fight me, but they were wrong. They were fighting me and God.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting a winning battle. They not knowing they fighting a losing battle.
Yeah.
I'm always going to come out on top.
Yeah.
And I did.
Yeah. So you said you had ill feelings. What were those feelings like?
I want to hurt it. I know I want to kill it. I want to put my hands on it.
Yeah.
I mean, you just shot me in my face.
Yeah.
And that day, we were together all day that day. We were together for about 7, 8 hours that day.
Yeah.
Prior to the incident. So it was never anything that I ain't never want to kill him. That never crossed my mind. I want to put my hands on him though.
Yeah. Did you ever get to touch him up?
No, because he went to prison.
Okay. For that?
He called me
for that.
For that.
Okay. All right.
He called me. That it happened a Saturday night. That Sunday morning he called me and I came home from the hospital. My mama answered the phone. Yeah, here you go. Bro, I said, I know that. That's forgiven. I ain't worried about that.
Just like that.
Just like that, right then. That's why I told you. Boom, that happened. I was upset for a minute. Then, right after I was upset, it's over and done. Forgiven, forgotten.
So now, what's your thoughts on so gun violence in our community ain't no new thing, right? This happened in 92?
1992.
So that's what, 29 years ago, something like that?
It's the longest, 2021. That happened in 1992.
Oh, yeah. What's that? That's like 29, ain't it? Somebody help me. Call in and help your boy with math. I went to law school. I did not go to engineering school. But okay, so it's been a long time ago, right? So what do you when you see all this gunplay going on in the community these days? What are your thoughts? Right. You know, whether we talking people who are fatally shot or just, you know, like the other day I saw like 4 people shot, but they survived. And, you know, so when it's going on, what are your thoughts?
I'm glad you asked me that.
And how can you jump in? Because we've got a few minutes. So I want you to chop it up. So let me just give you this right here, and then, you know, you can have at it. So what are your thoughts about the gunplay that's going on in our community? And how do you, if you do, how do you share your story and your experience to how do you inject your story and your experience into the gunplay that's going on in our communities to make it to make a difference?
You ready?
Yes, sir.
5 years ago, I had a meeting. What's going on right now, I seen it coming. I always have foresight. I seen it coming. 450 men hit me on Facebook saying, Pete, I'm going to be there. Women trying, I said, no, you women, y'all cannot come. No disrespect, but y'all been out of place a long time. You've been in the head of the household. That's not your job. And I raised my hand first. I'm guilty. Make them boys and leave them with women to be raised. It take a man to raise a boy. So, Said was there. I made sure that Said was at this meeting. But only 17 men showed up when 450 men say they would be there. I had enough food to feed 500 men. And women kept calling people. No. But it's sad that out of the 17 men that were there, they really didn't understand what the problem was. And the problem is real simple. It's our fault. The fathers. There's not enough men being a man to the boy child. So now, it got to a point now in 2021 to where a 13, 14-year-old boy has so much anger bent up and pinned up inside because he has no father. Not the mama boyfriend, not his granddaddy, not his uncle, not his goddaddy. I guarantee you, if you take all them boys and put them aside, every last one of them say they want their daddy, and they don't have them.
100%.
All right? So now they leave the house at 13, 14 years old, no education, no value of life, no monetary money in their pocket. They got their partners a little older, already got the big rims, nice clothes, nice jewelry, money in their pocket, and a so-called good girl. And they making babies. Now you think about that. You got a 13, 14-year-old boy trying to be a man that he has no clue how to be a man, because more than likely, whatever man is in life really ain't paying him no attention. He just worried about his mama.
Right on.
That's facts.
Right on.
Been there, done that.
100.
So here it is. He's released to the streets. He has all this pent up anger. Then he got somebody that called himself close to him, give him a gun, and said, man, if anybody try you, anybody disrespect you, bust a cap in him. He ain't thinking, man, they ain't gonna do that. He thinking, okay, all right, because he got this anger in him. So now they so stuck on this disrespect thing, not understanding what real disrespect is. First of all, let me go back. You asked me where I was born at, what neighborhood, what did I say?
You
I'm
said
from Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, Tampa, Florida, right.
That's one of the problems too. I don't know anybody. If you know anybody, let me know. Tell me who owns the neighborhood. Tell me who owns the street.
Yeah, I can't answer
Tell me
that.
who owns the color.
Yeah.
So why is it not just only in Tampa, but all over the nation, you got these boys losing their lives because he live on 33rd, he live on 32nd, one block over.
Yeah.
You're supposed to judge a man by his character.
Yeah.
You only can find a man character, you have a conversation with him.
Right on.
If his partner say, man, he ain't no good, and you all automatically go on that, which happens every day, it's prevalent. Even with grown folks do that right now. Still, I'm 55 years and I'm still getting that.
Yeah.
So I can imagine a child, what he going through. He getting beaten in the head, and there's some of them in their heart they want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
But they ain't got the right thing around them. The right thing is the right man, which should be their father, showing them how to be a man.
So, do you ever get an opportunity to share your story about forgiveness with families who are survivors of gun violence? Do you ever does your story play a role in the gun violence that's going on in our community? And if not, what kind of solutions do you have? And we only got like 3 minutes before we had to get up out of here. So okay. I'm going to go ahead and take like 2 minutes to answer that question best you can. I'm going to close out the show. And but go ahead, you got it.
When Sid came on prison, I told him, I said, man, listen, because it's always been on my mind the whole time. I said, listen, we got a story to tell, and we need to let the nation see it, not just City of Tampa, but the nation, because Baltimore, Chicago, Detroit, Anchorage, Alaska, Memphis, Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, Jackson, Mississippi, these places are terrible.
You want it.
I'm not going to go down, you know about Tampa and St. Pete and Clearwater and Lakeland. Right. It's local. But my thing is, if we can put our story in front of the nation, it might be able to change some of these people's notions, because I just don't get how you can be mad with me. We never had a conversation because I live on a certain street.
Yeah.
I got a certain color on. I walk a little different. My money situation a little different. You want to kill me because of that? That makes no sense.
Yeah. Man, I see a lot of brothers around here. Very few sisters, but I see a lot of brothers, man, shot and in bad shape. Colostomy bags, wheelchairs, bad limps, face tore off. I know brothers like that, shot in the face tore off. And I often wonder, right on, I often wonder what their stories are. But haven't had an opportunity to pull them on the Life Malcolm show. Every now and then, though, like one time I saw this dude pull up at the BP right there on MLK in Nebraska, right there on that the southwest corner of MLK in Nebraska. And man, he pulled up in a Benz 600 AMG or something like that, whatever they call it, 60 AMG, whatever it was, man, slick dope. Man, I was like, oh man, dope. I'm a young dude, right? I'm like, man, that's fresh. Wonder what he, how he living. Then I see him throw his wheelchair out the car and had to hop in the wheelchair. I'm like, I don't want that life. Whatever he got going on, I don't want that. So I asked him, I was like, yo, man, what's up, man? Why you in the wheelchair? He's like, man, I got shot. And, so I never really get the stories. Every now and then, I just say, man, what happened? Because I'm hoping maybe they had a stroke or something. Well, not hope they had a stroke, but hoping they didn't get shot. Let me say that. Most time, brother, it's been shot, And so for you to be a survivor of that type of violence, but not just a survivor, but a forgiver of that type of violence. And not just a forgiver, because, people say, you can forgive from a distance and all that, but you say this is your brother to this day.
That's my brother. That's my brother.
That's tremendous, man. And so I want to encourage everybody listening to the Life Malcolm show right now to investigate your own life, because you got a story to tell. All of us have not experienced this type of violence, that Big Pete experienced. But some of us have had friends and family members do awful things to us. and have not yet found a way to forgive them, but some of us have. And whether you have found a way to forgive or have not, there's a story there. And so investigate your life. Hopefully this story right here helped, and your story can help somebody else too.
I got to say this real quick. I'm going to change the subject real fast. I got stage 4 cancer. I was diagnosed that in October. Fellas, put your pride aside. Go get your checkups. I didn't, and I'm in this position I'm in now. Go get your checkups.
Yeah.
Please. Don't stay away from that doctor. Go get your checkups, man. It's important.
Yo, right here on the Life Malcolm Show, man. Big Pete, always looking out for the people, man. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I look forward to the next time. We're going to do this thing, man, again, part 2 for real, 100.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in. This has been the Life Malcolm Show right here on In Touch News. We out. To be continued, y'all.
Life.